صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله عليه وسلم.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وآله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهداه. The walking of the Prophet ﷺ. How was the Prophet ﷺ used to walk? How did he walk? He walked normally, but to us, he didn't walk like others may do. So Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, said, when the Prophet ﷺ walked, he inclined forward as if he were descending a place, as if he's coming from downhill. So how would a person coming from a downhill, he would be leaning forward and doing that, walking in a fast pace. This is how the Prophet ﷺ used to walk. And he was like the sun. And the companions used to say, we used to strive to catch up with him. And he wasn't even tired. He wasn't doing this as if he's making it up, but this is his normal walk. And it was the stride of a healthy person. Unlike those who walk, in a very slow pace, as if they're dying, thinking that this is more dignified. Unlike those who walk in a hostile way, looking right and left and throwing their arms everywhere. This is not a respectful way of walking. The way of the Prophet ﷺ was the best. The following chapter deals with the sitting of the Prophet ﷺ, how he used to sit. And again, sitting is a normal thing. We all sit. And we should sit according to what makes us comfortable, but it gives you some insight to how the Prophet used to live and behave, alayhi salatu wassalam. So Abbad ibn Tamim, he reports that his paternal uncle said that he saw the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam once lying on his back in the mosque, placing one of his legs over the other. Now, this hadith, Abbad ibn Tamim reporting that his paternal uncle is Abdullah ibn Zayd. He was among the great companions of the Prophet ﷺ, known as Abu ibn Ummi Amara, and he's the one who killed Musaylimah al-Kadhab after being thrown with a spear from Wahshi ibn Harb, may Allah be pleased with him. He finished the job. So he said that I saw the Prophet ﷺ lying in the masjid, putting one leg over the other. But we are talking about a chapter that deals with sitting of the Prophet ﷺ. Well, At-Tirmidhi reported this hadith to show you that if lying in the masjid is permissible, by default, any way you sit would also be permissible. But we know that there are other hadiths where the Prophet ﷺ prohibited us from lying and putting one leg over the other. Yet he's doing this himself. This is a problematic issue that a lot of the Muslims nowadays, especially those who start to practice Islam, yet they are opinionated. And this is very problematic. Youngsters who are guided to Islam and to practicing it, they read a hadith or two and they are adamant to do it without asking about other hadiths that may govern it. So no matter what, they're willing to fight tooth and nail to defend their own point of view. You give them another hadith that may contradict what they're doing. There's a hadith of prohibition. So if I were to lie in the masjid and put one leg over the other, I'd get some youngsters scolding me saying, you don't fear Allah, you don't love the Prophet ﷺ, you don't follow the Sunnah. The Prophet prohibited this. So you show them this hadith that Abdullah ibn Zayd, known as Ibn Amara, saw the Prophet lying in the masjid putting one leg over the other. He said, no, this is not authentic. It's authentic. The hadith is authentic without any doubt. So because these youngsters don't have knowledge, which is not a big problem, you can learn. The bigger problem is that they don't have a point of reference. They don't go to scholars. They don't check with scholars. They think that just getting one evidence from the Quran or from the Sunnah is sufficient. And this is the way of the deviant sects, Khawarij, Murji'ah, etc. When they come to one single piece of evidence and they neglect everything else in the religion. How is that? We're following the Quran, we're following the Sunnah. This is exactly what the deviant sects are doing. Be careful if you're a youngster and you think proudly of yourself that I've gained knowledge, I'm a student of knowledge. And then he discovers that he knows nothing. How to reconcile between the two hadiths? It's very easy. The Prophet prohibited one from lying down and putting one leg on the other if his awra will be exposed. He's not wearing an ample longi or trousers underneath. Or if he is not safe from passing wind and then losing the salat or falling asleep. You can have many justifications. If all of these are avoided, there's no problem at all in lying on your back and putting one leg over the other. The second hadith that Salama ibn Shabib said that Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, may Allah be pleased with him, said that when the Prophet of Allah ﷺ sat in the masjid, he pressed his legs against his stomach with his hands. This is known as al-ihtiba. And this way of sitting is to place your buttocks on the ground, erect your legs so your legs are bent, your knees are in front of your chest, and you bring your arms around your legs and pulling them to your chest. This relaxes your spine as if you are leaning on a wall. It can be done with a piece of cloth, like some of the Arabs used to do, especially when they're sitting for long hours in the masjid, or even in the desert or the wilderness where they have nothing to support their back to. So they used to bring a belt or a piece of cloth and they tie it to their knees, bring it to the chest, and it seems comfy as if they have their back against the wall. So the Prophet used to sit like this in the masjid, alayhi as-salatu was-salam. Wallahu a'lam wa nisbatul ilmi ilayhi aslam. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad.
Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.